No? Hi everyone. So today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about my story, about my hair journey, and just so you can understand a little bit why I started the channel, why I started the blog. I pretty much started this whole thing because I wanted to help other people to be inspired. Like if you're going through transitioning, at least you have something to look up to and say, okay, well, one day this is going to be over. Or even if you're already natural, you can learn how to deal with your hair in a simple way and at the same time say, okay, I can do this. Which is not hard, but a lot of times you just need to learn how to do this. So I come from a very big family. I have 10 aunts, and growing up, all of my aunts, they loved my curly hair, and my friends, everybody loved my hair. And though everybody was obsessed with it and loved the fact that you could pull it and it would pump back up, I hated my hair. I don't know exactly why I hated it, but I just didn't like the fact that everybody around me had straight hair. And that's the beauty standard, well, at least that was the beauty standard growing up. You know, I was born in 1988, and back then that was the good beauty part, you know? So by the time I was 9, I started bugging my mom saying, okay, I need to relax my hair. I can't take this anymore. And so she did, you know, when I turned 9, she let me relax my hair. And I was really happy. I was really glad about it. And so from 9 until I was 23, I kept relaxing my hair, you know. And so, yeah, throughout high school I had straight hair. Nobody even knew once in my life I had curly hair. And then when I was 18, in 2006, the whole front of my hair just broke off. Like this whole thing just broke. And that happened because when I moved from the States to Brazil, back to Brazil, I just had a shock with the chemicals or whatever. And so the whole front of my hair broke. But do you think that stopped me? No, it didn't. I just kept wearing scarves and headbands or whatever it was just to cover that front part. And so I waited for 6 months and said, okay, I'm good, I can relax my hair again. And that's what I did. I kept relaxing until I was 23. Then in 2008, one of my aunts went natural. And I thought to myself, okay, you look good, you know, that's great. And she said to me, you know, Polly, it's so nice. I can wake up and just get out of the house and that's it. No more blow drying, flat ironing, none of that. And I thought to myself, okay, it looks great, but I'm not that fashionable, you know. My aunt, she's a diva, and I'm not, you know, I thought that back then that was a style. It wasn't who you were. It was something you chose to be. And so I didn't stop relaxing my hair. And then 2009, I thought, okay, maybe I can do this. But I couldn't. I tried to transition and I just couldn't. I went back to perming it. Then 2010, November 2010, I said to myself, okay, I can do this. So I relaxed my hair one last time because I was going to one of my friend's weddings and I wanted to look presentable. And so I relaxed it November 2010 and I said, that's it, that's the last time. And it really was. So the transitioning part, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, oh yeah, it's super easy, because it isn't. It is something hard, but it's something that you have to go through. So a few tips I can give you if you're transitioning right now is a few tips, okay? Just 3 tips. One of them is be patient. Just understand that this is gonna end. At some point you will have beautiful curls, but for some time you will have different textures. And I know it's hard to see that because I don't know about you, but when I was transitioning, the roots of my hair, they weren't curly. They felt like wires, like barbed wire or something. And so I couldn't see that light at the end of the tunnel. So what I did is I learned my second tip, which was styling. you have to know how to style your hair while you're transitioning. You don't want to look bad while you're transitioning. So I followed Alodia 80, and whatever she told us to do, I did. And Taryn Guy as well. I used to watch a lot of her videos, and whatever they told me to do, I would do it. So one of my favorite styling things I could do at the time was the little knots that you do. You section your hair, Bantu knots, however you say it. And the blow dryer diffuser, that helped a lot. But I couldn't use it after 6 months because I didn't get the same wavy look. So I don't know, I stopped after 6 months. But Bantu knots were my best friends throughout this whole transitioning time. And of course, you could always do the buns. Those are lifesavers until today. And so my third tip, that's one of the most important ones. You have to make sure that your hair is strong, because a lot of people, when they transition, their hair they just break. And why does that happen? One, it's because you don't know how to detangle when you're dealing with multi-textures. And another one, hair just becomes weak. I have the feeling that it's like your hair is asking for that same chemicals that it receives every 2 months or whatever. So you have to really make sure your hair is hydrated and conditioned and it's strong, okay? So that's pretty much it. So I thought about transitioning at the time for 1.5 years, just like Alodia did, but I couldn't handle it. When I hit my 1 year mark, I was ready to cut it. And so I approached my fiance at the time and I said, babe, I'm ready to do this. And he was like, you know what, go for it. Just let's see what those curls are going to look like. And I did. I called this hairdresser that my aunt had given me his number. And so I called him. He came over to her house. I was by myself. And I explained to him, okay, you're going to cut my hair. I don't want to look like I just chopped it all off, but I want to see what my hair looks like. I still want to have some kind of style to it. And he said, all right, no problem, leave it up to me. And he did. He cut it. And I remember looking at the mirror and saying, oh my God, I'm bald, I have no hair. And so he said, it's okay, you'll get used to it, and he left. And I just cried and cried and cried until my aunt came home and she was like, hey, you look great, you know, finally you did it. You can see what your real hair looks like, so begin your journey. And it was really hard. I cried. The next day I couldn't go to work. But then after 2 weeks or so, I was okay. You know, I started feeling a little bit better because as soon as you cut it, you get no texture. You just have little hair. Or, you know, even though it wasn't so short, my hair was about this long, I don't know, I felt horrible. So, but I noticed my hair grew a lot faster after I big chopped it. This is a picture of me only a month after my big chop. And then I started seeing real growth. These pictures, they were taken when we did our Save the Date video. And so this is 4 months after I big chopped. And you can see my hair looks fine. I could rock it however I want it. And then these pictures, they were taken after 6 months I big chopped. They were for our engagement shoot, for our wedding. And you can see I'm okay, you know, I'm doing good. And these pictures were taken at my wedding. So this is, 8 months after I big chopped. And I felt so comfortable, you know, I did what I had to do. And then I couldn't believe when I hit my 1 year mark being natural. That was a celebration for me. And so now, this is my hair at 1 year and 6 months. You know, it's so nice to be able to look back and think to myself, okay, you know, I got through it. All those nights that I would think to myself, okay, I don't care. Tomorrow I'm relaxing my hair again. Tomorrow I'm buzz cutting my whole hair, or, you know. So these days are over, and I'm so comfortable in my skin, and I'm so glad that I did this whole process. And I mean, I hope if you're going through a transition, stay strong. You can do this. It's only temporary. And if you're curly-headed like me, if you have kinks or whatever, you're being yourself. And that's great, you know, you're not a slave to anything. You can wake up, rock your hair as high as you want, or, you know, however you want, and it's fine. So that's it. That's my story. If you need any tips, any ideas, just let me know. I'll be glad to help.